I think I took some pills at some point. I was very, very, very desperate. I think it was a cry for help, really. I remember going to the really ancient mental hospital way up in North London, and it was just very disjointed, very surreal. I remember being taken down a long passage, and they put me in this room. I remember my name being chalked up on a board, and it had my name, Goddard, and it had treatment listed, and it was going to, like, shock treatment. And I just looked at me, and they were sort of, I wasn't restrained, but I was sort of laying there, and then and this huge cockroach just sort of crawled up and just walked across my stomach. And I just said, that's it, I'm getting out of it, because it was real. It was like, boom.
Stuart emerged from intensive psychiatric treatment feeling like a new man. His marriage was dead, and so was his old identity. This was the birth of Adam.
When Adam came out, he dropped out of college, didn't want to be in our band anymore. He wanted to do his own thing and became very influenced by punk, and actually did become Adam.
Plastic surgery is fantastic. You can have a brand new nose.
It's almost like being given a second chance. All I wanted to do was get a group together and get on with it.
I definitely think punk gave a lot of people a chance to do things they always felt they were capable of, but didn't quite know how they'd do it under their own name. I think punk gave you an opportunity to wear a mask, change your name, change who you were, but actually find out exactly who you were.
Plastic surgery, it's so plastic.
Adam called his new band The Ants and threw himself into punk, the looks and the lifestyle.
When I first met him, he lived in a single room, which was all painted black. Floor, ceiling, carpet, the lot. There was a single mattress, and on the wall there were nails placed with strings. There was a toothbrush on one string, I think a pair of scissors and a comb. You can go on a stage where there's nothing but a chair, and the stage seems filled. Your every moment would be watching to see what would he do next, because it was very unexpected.
I used to go to a lot of the very early Ant gigs, and they were absolutely amazing. There was sexuality, violence. It had an air of danger about it.
They used to spit at me, and I'd sort of go off and get a fire extinguisher and like let it off at them and throw it at them, hit them with a mic stand, throw anything I could find at them. I think it brought the best out of me. It's one of the basic things of recovery from any kind of mental illness is to try and fill it with something you do like to enjoy.
Adam was using music as medication, but friends became aware of the mood swings that would recur throughout his personal and professional life.
In those earlier days, he would go quite introverted, he'd spend a bit of time on his own, and then he'd seem to pop out the other side. Usually with a creative burst of a new song or a new concept or a new idea or a rebirth of image. But there'd definitely be an introverted phase in order to get him there.
I'll fill your bath with the finest champagne. I'll lick your skin dry.
The Ants had cult status, but Adam wanted mainstream success, and that might mean a change of image.
Oh, gosh.
So nasty, remember the curls of the day.
Adam and the Ants had all the sort of credibility and everything was wonderful. We had the audience that people dreamt of, but no money. It was a real strain to give everybody kind of, a tiny wage.
So Adam decided to reinvent himself again. This time he had some expert advice.
Listen, fashion is the last repository of the marvellous. The designer may be the last person who holds the wand of Cinderella's fairy godmother. So if you think of it in those terms, I was the guy that could turn Adam into a male Cinderella.
They said, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to do underground records, or do you want to be on everybody's cornflakes packet. And I said, yeah, of course, I want to be as successful as possible. I want to be everywhere, and I want to live in a fishbowl. And he said, well, you're going the wrong way about it.
And I started to lay it out, what I think you should do. Think wild tribal drums. Think of yourself as a pirate. Think stories about Geronimo.
But the career's advice came at a price. Malcolm wanted the Ants to form a new group called Bow Wow Wow, and Adam wasn't invited.
He just basically organised a mutiny, really. He said the right things to them, and they went for it. And, you know, they were mates.
It wasn't really exactly like that, but I suppose it sounds good. It certainly fits with my image.
The end of the 70s found Adam with no band, no money, and seemingly no future. But this time there was no depression. He just became more determined, more focused, and more driven. Within a year, he'd be the biggest pop star in Britain.